Hey everybody, welcome back to Intentional Carnivore for this last second live session. I'm just going to jump on for a little bit tonight, man. I wanted to talk to everybody and see how everybody was doing, just chat with everybody. It's been almost 3 weeks, I guess, since I did a live on my own and usually having guests and everything. I want to welcome everybody here in tonight, all you guys. Sounds like it, and it put me on mute. So I guess, can you hear me now? Hello. I guess I'll wait a second. Just put a letter in the comments or something. Okay, good deal. Yeah. So what happened? I had my headset in and it connected to my phone. And whenever I was trying to, my computer switched over to my phone. My headset switched over to my phone because there's a delay between the actual broadcast and what you guys are seeing. And so my headset connected to my phone. So when my voice started coming through, um, it was kind of it was distracting. But I've had an issue with some of the the chat messages and stuff coming through. So I was going to jump on and check that too. I won't see some of the chat messages that are popped in on the streaming software that I use because it's not actually on YouTube. So I just want to make sure, and I'm trying to investigate too to see what I was missing. But I mean, everything seems to show up on because I'm looking at it on my phone, so it's all good. Anyway, I hope everybody's good tonight. Michelle, Jess, D, good to see you guys from Indiana. Man, we got people from all over the world in here. Talking with people from New Zealand. It's pretty good, man. Like I was trying to explain a while ago, though. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since I did a solo. Normally, I bring it on guests and everything. And whenever I get to talking with the guests, a lot of times I don't get to interact as much with you guys. And I still love interacting with you guys just as much, man. I like learning and speaking with these influencers and other people that are coming in and the docs that are coming in. And they all encourage me, and I want to encourage them too. Especially like that was awesome last night with the Carnivore couple. Those guys are sweet, and you know, I had a good time with them last night. I want to encourage them, and I feel like that's as we stated last night. If you've already seen it, that's what this community is about, man. Just reaching out, picking people up, encouraging everybody, and just trying to help people, man. There's so much negativity and so many people out there with messages that want to tear people down. Like anytime I get a chance to encourage somebody, I've learned over time that you invest in people and people will return the favor and invest in you. And you don't build yourself up by tearing other people down. That's 100% fact. Anytime you invest in other people, you always win. And I think that's something that's much needed. People need encouragement. People need people to buy into them. I know I did for a long time. So that's a big mission, helping people along. I got my other Dr. Chafee shirt tonight, Body by Bacon. Dr. Chafee said, "How you like the shirt?" And I was like, "Man, the shirts are awesome. They feel great." And he's like, "Yeah, I got the Body by Bacon one." He's like, "I'm just waiting on the body." I'm like, "Man, if you're waiting on it, when in the world am I going to see it?" I was like, "Come on now." Uh, I was going to tell him some jokes whenever he come on the show, and then my wife said they weren't quite as funny as I thought they were. I was, I was going to tell him that, and I guess you got to know my sense of humor, but I was going to just look at him and say, hey, man, me and my carnivore, whenever I started to go carnivore, me and my wife went carnivore for the same reason. We wanted a body like yours. But she's like, that's not appropriate. I was like, well, I was just joking, sweetheart. Anyway, semi-retired Bob, how you doing, sir? That's my dude right there. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. I appreciate that. I really like semi-retired Bob, and he's overcome a lot. So, oh goodness, Charger, he said, seriously, I doubt anybody would want a body like mine. Well, I mean, I tell you what, it's amazing what in the world what happens in your body and through your body. I feel great. I still have some issues, as I've told you guys from the get-go, with losing a bunch of weight from the loose skin. But I mean, I can live with loose skin. It's the diabetes and the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and all those things that was killing me. But still, I mean, it's not like I'm rock solid yet. I mean, the most amazing thing is just the muscles, man, because I haven't really lost any muscle tone since I've been eating like this. It's pretty amazing. So, oh goodness, Archangel, how's it going, man? I hope you're doing pretty good. And Dawn, good to see you in here from West Virginia. John Boston, good to see you. 22 Cat, Q Cat, good to see you. Miss Angie, obviously, good to see you too. Oh, Steph got a question. Let's see what she says here. When you started carnivore, how much did you eat in a day on average? I know you're down to deviled eggs and steak now. Yeah, so good question, Aunt Stephanie. So whenever I first went on carnivore, like from April the 17th, 2022 until I started BBBE in June, I ate 3 meals a day. I ate any meat any animal products, because honestly, like, I was just grasping, I've said it multiple times, the condition that I was in. And like, I was very skeptical about this way of eating. I knew how the anatomy and physiology. Matter of fact, I took anatomy and physiology fast track in the summertime. So I took in 2 classes fast track in the summertime and passed both. I think I had B's in those classes. Even at fast track 5-week classes for my degree, just, but I knew how the body worked, but I was super skeptical about it. But so I was, I didn't think it was going to work, and I didn't think I would be able to stick to it because, like everything else that I'd ever tried, every other diet and everything else, I tried so many things. So whenever I went on it, I heard people say, just, if it had a face and it had a mom, Dr. Berry's like, eat until you're comfortably stuffed. Well, that was a lot for me at 457 pounds. So I ate 3 times a day. And if I got hungry again, I would eat again. I didn't, but I would eat salmon a good bit. I would eat chicken, beef, hamburger patties, eggs, bacon, the whole gambit. Like, anything was on the table. And so, but 3 times a day and whenever else I got hungry, and actually started with water, and I would drink a 2-liter Dr. Pepper every day up until the time I stopped drinking sodas. And then whenever I went carnivore, actually in January, before I went carnivore, is when I stopped tried to start getting off of soft drinks. And so what I did in January, before I started at carnivore in April, I would take water and get some of the real lemon juice, and I would squirt a few drops of that down into the water just to give it a flavor. But I had kicked the sodas. I think I had 2 canned sodas in the whole year of 2022, even though I started carnivore in April last year. Even before that, I had 2 canned sodas that whole time, and it was absolutely horrible to me. But so I, 2 3 times a day. And then in June, like I said, 3 times a day carnivore, whenever I wanted to eat, just to get used to it. And that's what I advise everybody else to do too. Like, I don't think anybody should just come straight in and just try to cold turkey, just ease into it. If you want to go lion diet or BBBE, jump on it, get your body used to digesting that meat first. Your gallbladder, Anthony Chafee and Dr. Mason talked about this in an interview one time that I watched. Your gallbladder gets used to not releasing enough bile or using the bile, so it doesn't produce it as efficiently or as much. So you got to ease into it. But you get your body eased into it, it starts working properly, you get those hunger signals working again, and it's a lot more efficient. So I hope that answered. I hope I didn't peg around too much on that. I did jump around, but let me look at these comments and see where we at. 22 cat back up there. Hey Sanders, good to see you too. I appreciate you being here from Michigan. John, hey buddy, good to see you as well. My buddy Carnivore Kip and his 3-pound burger. Dude, I seen you trying to put that thing away. He said he got it done this morning though. I'm gonna have to talk to you soon on the phone, man. It's been a couple of days. I've been trying to give you some space and let you enjoy your birthday with your family and all, but I'm gonna call and fill your ear up soon. Hey, happy 30th birthday. Oh man, multitasking, trying to fix your vacuum cleaner. Well, when you get done, come fix mine, Charger, because mine is stuck with a belt messed up for some reason. This is how redneck I got today. Or the other day, I had to send my daughter next door to borrow the vacuum cleaner. How about that? So I need to do the same thing. Oh, Peachy today. Okay, here you go, everybody. Let's encourage. Today is day 1 of Carnivore. That is awesome. That's good. Listen, I want to encourage you that you just made one of the best decisions of your life. The hardest part of it is getting your mind on track. Most everybody in here can tell you. Some people easier than others. But listen, when you get tired of saying tomorrow I'm going to do this or Monday I'm going to do this, but today, when you make that decision, that's the hardest part, getting started. And then everything else after that, decision, just one little choice, 1 minute after the next. And before you realize it, it's really going to track a difference. Many people have different ideas, and I'm not trying to say that my ideas are the only way or maybe even the best way. It was what worked for me. And I was super skeptical, and I had tried everything, and my health was horrible. And I got the lab work. I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to track it. I'm going to get my lab work done. I want to see what my blood looks like. I want to see my C-peptide. I want to see my fasting insulin. I want to see my TSH and my T3s and T4s, free T4s. I want to see those things. I want to see my A1C. How does it change? I want to see my alt and what my liver's doing. There's a lot of things that I just want to keep up with, and just to make sure that it's safe, because isn't that what so many people wonder? Is it safe? And now I can absolutely testify that it is. So congratulations on day 1. I want you to be encouraged. Get with it, stick with it, and before you realize it, you're going to start seeing the benefits. The first week's probably going to drop some inflammation, and then some people's bodies slow down a little bit, and then it picks up when it wants to. Just don't get discouraged. Stay involved in the community. Tim's, good to see you tonight, Tim. Sean, since losing the weight, what kind of exercise have you been doing to lose more weight? Walking. That's it, 100%. Like, that's all I've done the whole time. I started walking last July. Matter of fact, the video on this channel, as I mentioned a few times, was taken the first day that I was even able to walk anything like that in over 3 years. And I haven't added anything else, no kind of working out at all since at all. I mean, I walked, between 3 miles and 5 miles. at the highest over the last year. Sometimes it was just at work, and sometimes it was intentional, out walking. Uh, but I haven't added any other kind of workout in, and I need to. I would like to, because I feel like that's kind of will take it to the next level. Plus, I'm getting so small. I mean, and it's hard to tell in the picture. I mean, in the camera, but I'm literally like so. I feel like I'm fading. And so I don't want to get too. I don't know what's the word. Too skinny, too scrawny. I've always been big since I was a kid, so I don't really know what it's like to not be able to use my weight in certain situations to move things or whatever. So that's something that I'm just gonna have to work with, I guess. But nothing really major. Art, good to see you too again. When you were at top weight, did you have an issue with swollen legs and feet? If so, how did you get the swelling to go down, or how long did it take? Yeah, I did have some swollen feet, and I had swollen legs, and I had weeping edema coming out of the front of my legs. And I'm not going to pull them up here and show you, just for obvious reasons. I'm not just going but like, I still have a little bit of dark places on the front of my legs, where I could push on the outside of my legs and it would weep. It was that bad. The skin would break. And, coming from a healthcare background, I knew that what that meant. I'm setting myself up for heart failure. And I knew changes needed to be made. And this was one of the things that has drastically improved it. And now I have brand new skin. It's tight. There's no swelling, no edema, nothing like that at all whatsoever. And the old skin and everything is slowly, even the scarring is starting to go away. So, yeah. And as far as how long it took, I know by the time that I did that interview with Larry, all that was gone. So it's from April to, I think we did that interview in August. So April, May, June, July, August. So about 4 months. 4 months are around. I don't want to say that's the exact same way it's going to happen for you. You're going to be able to do it in 4 months. It might take 6 months, 5 months, 1 year. It might take 3 months. I don't know. I can't say, but that's how long it took for me. And it's like drastically different. So you and somebody else may be able to throw something in the comments. Carrie, a deer with only one eye is a no-eye deer. I have no idea what you're talking about. So, all righty, Sean. How quickly were you losing the weight? I'm sure at the beginning you lost more. Did you weigh weekly? That video on this channel, I think it's got a picture of me and Larry and Cassie on the front of it. I think that's the face, the one that I have. It actually goes through I took all the times that I weighed throughout the journey and put them into like a musical video and flips through. So yeah, I did actually weigh, and I think the app said, and I can get on there, but it said something like 4 points. It averages out to about 4.68, something like that, pounds per week throughout the whole time. Now, there were some months like September of last year and February of this year where I went from losing like 19, 20 something pounds down to like I would only lose 6 or 10 pounds. There are certain months where it would be less than others, but it typically stayed between 19 and 25 pounds ever since I started. Now it's slowing down more now because I'm getting closer to the weight that I should be or whatever. So, but yeah, I did weigh usually every week. Sometimes I didn't. And, but I have a lot of records of that kind of stuff. I think it's cool to keep up with it, even though I didn't focus on it, because there was never a point in my journey where I focused on how fast it happened, because I don't care how fast it happened. And I guess it's easy. I don't want you guys to get, misconstrued by me not being thankful, because I absolutely am thankful. And I'm thankful that it happened like it did. Um, but being that fast was never the objective. That it was happening was the objective. I needed it gone, and I had made my mind up that no matter how long it took, I was going to stick to it and make this thing work. Once it finally started working and I started seeing it, we get so zeroed in on how fast it happens, it'll knock us off big time. So, oh, Dawn, good to see you tonight. Lots of YouTube videos on how to fix whatever model of vacuum. Yeah, no kidding. I know. I need to do it. I learn a lot off of YouTube as well. When you started BBBE in June, is that when you went down to the deviled eggs and steak 2 meals a day? No, I went to the deviled eggs and steak after I tried to go OMAD. And I started BBB and E in June, and I ate literally beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Whenever I've always eat 2 meals a day since going BBB and E. However, I think it was around September-ish whenever I tried to go from 2 meals a day to 1 meal a day. And I can testify that 1 meal a day did not work for me. Matter of fact, in the original video that Larry, I think he changed it. I think he took the first one down. But in the first one, we talk about going OMAD a little bit. And somebody that was part of the group had challenged me or had said something to me about going OMAD, and it worked so well for them that I wanted to try it out. And so I did for 3 weeks, and I was absolutely miserable. And I was like, this is not working. I cannot eat enough in 1 meal to sustain me to the next day. And I was never hungry up until that point. And I had really no problems at that point. And it stalled me out at that point. So a lot of people can testify to the 1 meal a day thing. I can't. If it works for you and you try it and you're happy, by all means, go for it. It did not work for me. It stalled me out. It aggravated me. And I could tell that I was getting angry, because I was getting hungry and my body was talking to me. And I was like, this 1 meal a day thing ain't working. And right after that 3 weeks is whenever I went on the steak and deviled eggs with butter. And I've been that way ever since. I mean, there've been a couple of times like night before last and 2 nights this week I had chicken. And I thought maybe I would come off of the BBB and E thing, and just go back to regular carnivore. But I decided, nope, after 2 days of just chicken at night, eggs in the morning, chicken at night, I'm like, this isn't enough. I had to go get me some steaks. I think I told you guys that last night. But, yeah, that wasn't for me. I'm like, I got to get my steak back. Oh, Ron Nichols, hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you. Gene Richards, good to see you as well. In Ontario, Canada. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys made it. Oh, where are we at? There's John Tolan. Sean, were you OMAD for most of your weight loss? No, absolutely not. I hope you caught. I hope John, that last little bit there. I just can't do the OMAD, man. I honestly, I've never fasted. So shocking, Brad. Hey, good to see you. Glad you made it. The OMAD thing just didn't really work for me. Honestly, it just wasn't enough. And two, whenever I look back at it, me and Larry Burkles talked about this a good bit, and I was like, man, this just ain't working. Everybody swears that goes on this OMAD from the group here. They're having great experiences, and I just can't make it work. And so he's like, man, you got to make it work for you, keep it sustainable. And that, that's what I did. So I went back to my 2 meals a day. Oh, Carnivore. Let's see here. I'm not ready to get Pat. Here, let's put that up there. Kip, I am ready to get past the stall and drop some more. No bubbly for June for me. Yeah, Kip, I'm telling you, brother, that those artificial sweeteners in those drinks, man, and like get you some of this, man, this Topo Chico or some of these Death Wish, or what is it, Liquid Death the carbonated sodas, man, that just doesn't have that flavor. Like I was telling Kip, man, your body can't tell the difference whenever you feed it artificial. Now, like I said, preface, you got to figure out what works for you, because if it's not sustainable, nothing's working for you. But anything with that artificial sweetener in it, your body just recognizes sweet and starts. I'm not saying it stalled him. Obviously, Kip's a great example of that. He drinks the bubbly, and he stalled out a little bit. It may just slow people down a little bit, but he's been losing weight and drinking the stuff. So not that it's not going to work if you drink those things. It may just not work as efficiently as it would as if you tightened it up. So, I mean, it's kind of a choice you have to make as long as you're on the right track. But I got a feeling it's going to cut loose with you, Kip. I got some faith for you, buddy. John, do you do any kind of exercise now, or do you have plans to? Yeah, like I was saying earlier, John, probably right before you got in, I actually was talking to a guy I grew up with, Zach, and he's been working out, him and his son, and I'm planning on getting with him hopefully real soon. And me and my son joining him and his son and doing some workout and having some fellowship time and stuff like that. So probably some weightlifting more than anything. And get that done. Miss Cindy, good to see you tonight. I appreciate you being here. Y'all check her channel out too when you get a chance. She's got one too. Perfect Mindset, my friend. Addicted got one. Do you still eat an off-plan meal once a month? I will allow myself an off-plan meal if it comes, but I mean, I don't necessarily plan it. I mean, if my thing has been the whole entire time, if I had an off meal plan, it was Texas fajitas when we went to the Mexican restaurant, because I love Mexican food. That's like my pitfall, And if my family and I were going there, or we decided we was going to have Mexican food one night, at least once a month, I would allow myself, to have that meal, if I wanted it. But I had parameters around if I had something off plan, what the plan was. And that was, look, if I'm going to have Texas fajitas tonight, I'm going to have enough for one meal. There's not going to be enough for leftovers. I'm going to eat that meal, and that's going to be it. And it's not going to be like a piling up thing that turns into a snowball of me going backwards. So yeah, I mean, will I have it? Yeah, I mean, I will allow myself to eat something that's off plan if I want it. Did it stall me out? No. Was it healthy? Who knows, man? I mean, my numbers are good. My weight loss was good. I feel good. But I absolutely can testify that even with one meal a month eating off plan, I could tell a difference. And it's not so much physically that I could tell a difference, but it's the mental game. My body, yeah, like I might not lose. I couldn't tell a difference between my weight loss, because obviously it was just shredding off so fast that I would lose weight just quickly. But the mental thing was the biggest thing that I saw with the off plan when I allowed myself to have it. Because while physically I didn't see the changes, mentally for the next 3 days, I would randomly just want something to eat that was not on my plan, that I didn't even care for, So that's a lot of things I don't know that people take into consideration. Just because it physically doesn't affect you doesn't mean mentally it doesn't affect you. And they're both equally, as relevant. So something to just pay attention to. Oh, R. Kenton, glad you could join us. Question: do you add electrolytes to your water? And thanks for all you inspire me. Well, I appreciate that. You guys are so sweet and kind, and I do get a lot of encouragement from you guys as well. And I do actually add electrolytes to my water. I use the Keto Chow electrolyte, the daily minerals, or the electrolytes from Keto Chow. I don't do the Keto Chow treats and all that kind of stuff. Ain't no way you get me to eat that. But like the Dr. Berry formulated a little electrolyte blend and daily mineral blend, and I have used that. I know that people swear by the LMNT Element brand, that they like that. There's Redmond's Real Salt is good for the electrolyte. So yeah, I would and do use the electrolytes. especially at first transitioning over. I don't use them as much now as I did in the beginning, but I did use them and do use them. All righty, where we at? Tim got another one. All right. If you begin to stall, would you consider fasting 1 day a week? Why or why not? If I were beginning to stall, there's a lot of questions that I would ask. First, I would ask, how much sleep am I getting? How much stress am I under? Because all those things play a big part in it. If you're not sleeping adequately, you're probably not going to lose as much weight as quickly or at all. Sleep has a big thing to do with losing weight. How much stress? Because if your cortisol's up, you're not going to lose weight. Your blood sugar, how is that? If it's up, your insulin's going to come out. You're not going to be able to lose weight. Your hormones. As a man, I can attest. I'm 40 years old, and other people I've talked to that are younger than me. Your testosterone is probably one of the biggest things in men that is going to hinder you from feeling good, having energy and motivation, and whatever. So hormones is a big one that you got to pay attention to. Making sure that you're not under eating, so your body's holding on to that food, is another one, especially on this way of eating, because the fat and protein is so much more satiating and giving you so many more nutrients than you would normally get. I would look at all of those things before I considered fasting. I'm not saying that fasting is not important, because the ketogenic way of eating is a fast mimicking way of eating. That's what it is. I mean, it's an elimination diet and it's a fast mimicking diet. So you're getting the benefits like most people would get if they were fasting already. There are benefits to fasting that you can see and that are good for you. So, I mean, I would consider it. I would do intermittent fasting before that, and then look at the maybe 1 day a week or not. That would definitely not be the first thing that I went to, though, because I've never seen anybody get the super results that they are looking for long term by just the change in fasting. Oh, how you guys? You got plus coffee. Let's see. If you guys put a question, just put a cue by the questions down there, then we'll go with that. But let's see. What is don't I do Lion Diet plus coffee to control Lyme autoimmune. I am not able to fast over 16 hours right now. My body is stressed with Lyme and does not do well on extended fast. I do overnight fast 12s. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. If you're already doing the Lion Diet and coffee, like, I mean, come on. You might want to look at the coffee, because like Dr. Chafee said, apparently there's 150 neurotoxins in coffee, and who knows, man, that you may be the one person those. I mean, I know what we all say about coffee, and I do still drink coffee. But who's to say that coffee might not be the one thing that, could be hindering, catching up with you. I don't know. I mean, that's something to look at, though. I mean, it made me think anyway, because, I went without coffee for 5 years. 5 months, and then added it back in. And it really hasn't changed, other than now I just want my coffee like I used to. So, but other than that, the Lion Diet's good. And I'd be curious to know what you did, how your autoimmune is doing, though, because my mom actually has Hashimoto, and so I was actually trying to turn her on to Nisha Berry, because Nisha doesn't have symptoms from her Hashimoto's anymore. And I want to see that, going in my mom. I wanted to help her out, So even if my mom does keto or ketovore, I'm not against that. Like, I begged my mom to get on it, if I had to, just to see her do well. And, I feel like it'll help her. So that's kind of where I am with that, Oh, pigeon now. We got a bunch of people. You guys, 43. If y'all hit that like button for me and push that message out. If you got your questions, jump that in there, throw those in here. This is really kind of a last second thing, man. I was like, I just want to jump on and solo talk to the people where I can kind of focus on them more than, keeping the flow thing going, I enjoy talking with you guys and get a lot of benefit from it. It helps me out. Um, Archangel says, I always feel crummy whenever I go off plan. Absolutely. I mean, you're going to feel crummy. Like I said, even if it's not physical, the mental aspect, gets people. And that's things we got to consider too. So, um, Miss Angie says, I get inflammation if I was to go off plan. Or excuse me, inflammation if I were to go off plan for even one meal, and me and my hand get numb. My hand get numb. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people see that, and early on, whenever I first had an off plan meal, I would not lose weight. I wouldn't gain weight, but I wouldn't lose weight for like probably 2 days, and then it would just go right back after that. So it's something you got to consider. Like I think I was trying to figure out what day it was, and I'm still not sure. I think it was I ate on plan without even coming off, like eating anything off plan for like 4 or 5 months. Right around the time I did that video with Larry, but absolutely, you got to think about that stuff and how it affects you. And it may just be something that I was eating, but I feel so good most of the time that I just don't care to eat off plan that much, and I know what it does to me. It's not building my body up. Oh, Joyce, good to see you tonight. Hey, Sean, I'm like you. I can't eat OMAD. I had bariatric sleeve 10 years ago, but even now I cannot eat enough in one meal to get enough nutrients in a day. Yeah, man, that's the thing with that bariatric sleeve, man. It cuts down on the amount of intake. And if I'm not mistaken, getting the sleeve, doesn't it like obstruct your ability to use what is it? No, that's the reconstruction where they cut part of it out. I think where it cuts off some of the secretions from the gallbladder too, right? But digestion's an issue. Being able to absorb the nutrients out of the food is I think what the problem is with that. But you got to figure those things out. Like, I actually looked into the bariatric surgery at one time, and I just couldn't afford it, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, because they didn't accept my insurance or nothing. So, I was like, that plan is not going to work, and I actually have 2 friends that I were medic with. One's a nurse and one's a paramedic now. And they had, I think the sleeve done, and they both look phenomenal and look great. The only thing that worries me about their situation is like where what to eat, and being in the community and everything. Like, I see them posting pictures of things that I'm like, oh my goodness, no, you guys look great, and this surgery really helped, and you guys are, obviously are following some kind of plan to stay this small. But I would hate to see them end up in that position where I see so many people that have those bariatric surgeries and things where they drop down, and then they don't change their addiction to food and end right back up in a dire situation, because I've seen it quite a few times with people, and that's dangerous, but yeah, more power. Get on it now. Craig, good to see you tonight. Question: which cuts of meat do you eat the most? Ribeye. I go to my butcher, and I'll buy a rib roast. It's about about $200 worth of a rib roast, the whole ribeye chunk. And it'll last about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. And I'll have them trim it up into steaks. Don't cut the fat off. Don't trim it up like everybody else wants it. I want every bit of that fat on there. So it'll be, just a ribeye steak with a big old pointy piece of fat hanging off the side of it. It's good, man. So that's the number one. I have gotten over the last year. I have gotten some sirloins. I like the sirloins too, and I have got a couple fillets, but there's just not a lot of fat on the fillets for me. But ribeye is 100% the most. Matter of fact, a good buddy of mine, Shane, sent me some. He had a cow processed a while back, and he called me a couple weeks ago and gave me 2 big old bags of nothing but fat. So I'm looking forward to getting into that stuff. Oh, look at, hey, Susan, good to see you. She said, just wanted to say hi and say you're enjoying this channel. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Your guys' support, man, it's been really awesome. Nothing but love, and it just, man, it's overwhelming sometimes to think about it, especially from where I was a year ago. You know, I'm a very thankful person. I'm a very loyal person. I'm very honest, sometimes brutally honest person. And, you know, I try to encourage, and it just means a lot whenever you guys get that back, man. And I've seen so much of that here. Let's see here, Miss Angie. I won't eat off plan. I want my breathing from. Let me put it up here. I don't even have to read it. I won't eat off plan. I want my breathing from never smoked COPD to stop or to stay as strong as it has been since I started keto. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's why I don't talk about it. In our carnivore group, at Carnivore Quest, if you're a member in there, the reason why you don't hear me talk a lot about eating off plan, not that I haven't, obviously I'm honest with you guys. I told you I did. However, I don't talk about it a whole lot, and I don't like talking about it here. And the reason being is I don't want to glorify it, like it, because some people can't do that. They can't eat off plan one time and go back to eating the way they were eating before. Like, for example, and this is no secret to most of you guys that watch Carnivore Quest community, they eat off plan. It takes them on a wild goose chase for 3 months. And, you know, they struggle with getting back, you know. I can eat off plan and come right back. I don't do it a lot. I don't, like I said, that once a month was when I did it. But a lot of people can't do that. So I don't want to make a big deal out of it to throw somebody else who can't do that off. You know, maybe it's not ideal, but it's what kept me focused, you know? So, but yeah, you got a good wine right there, Miss Angie. Write it down, you know. Absolutely. That's something to keep you focused, you know, getting that breathing going. That's good. Tim, what program do you use to do live stream videos, especially the collaborative videos? We use what is it? StreamYard. Yeah. We got me and Kip and Dave. All three of us use Streamlabs for the program for the collaborative videos. Most of the people that I'll bring on, they have to like download it to be able to come on to the live show as well. Oh, Miss Angie besides weight loss, was there any other why you started eating the keto spectrum way of eating? Oh yeah, absolutely. Besides weight loss, I've got a video actually on this channel about that, you know, my carnivore wines, but I weighed 457 pounds, and that was one of the big things. I couldn't stand in the shower without being out of breath. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I had sleep apnea. I had hypertension. I was on medication for it. I had severe, horrible depression, like debilitating depression. I couldn't stand on my feet for longer than 30 seconds without just about falling over, literally. I had weeping edema from my legs. I would get these spots and sores all over me with just infection and inflammation. I had gout. It was always something. I was always sick. I mean, the list continues to go on, but that's the main reasons right there. And, you know, one of the even bigger ones is I was not being the man that I should have been for my family. I could not do anything with my family. I could not be a husband. I couldn't be a father. I couldn't be a dad because I was consistently laying on the couch, sleeping, sick, and just depressed all the time. I couldn't lead my family like I needed to. So that's a lot of my reasons why. Now, you know, a lot of people find themselves in those positions, and that's not a demoralizing thing. That may be you laying on the couch watching me right now. And you know, the last thing that I want to do is embarrass somebody in that shape, because it's not it. I, I don't know how to word it. Um, it's not my indictment on you. It's just that nobody's going to be harder on that person than themselves. Nobody needed to tell me that I wasn't being a dad to my kids by laying over here sleeping, giving them a poor example every night. Nobody needed to tell me that I wasn't leading my family like I should as a husband and a father. I knew that, and that's demoralizing on top of all the other issues. So that was a lot of my why, because I was sick of living that way, and if I didn't change, then I absolutely was tired of living that kind of life. And over the last year, I've come to realize that you don't have to live defeated. You don't have to settle for what you've been settling for. You don't have to keep the same mindset that you've had. You don't have to continue living in defeat all the time, every day, with your health, with your mentality, with the things that are going on in your life. There is a way out. There is an option. You just have to be brutally honest with yourself and be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Now, that looks differently for a lot of people, and I can't sit here and write you a note that tells you exactly what every single step of that is. But I'm here to show you that it is possible, and to let you know that there is hope to move forward. And, a big part of that I talked about last night is my faith. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but that's just the way it is, man. Maybe the one thing that's holding you back, or not you specifically to the person I was just answering their question, but maybe the one thing that's holding you back is the one thing that could set you free, and you refuse to look at it, or refuse to accept it, or refuse to search that out. Mine is in Jesus. I turn to Jesus and he leads me and guides me. I get in his word, and spiritually, I've never been stronger. And, you may not believe in Jesus, but maybe that's the one thing that's going to set you free and change your life from now on. And so hopefully, it can make a big difference. Miss Connie, good to see you tonight, my friend. Has anyone seen a shift in results after giving up diet sodas? I still love my Diet Coke. That's a big struggle, Connie. Kelly Hogan's a big example of that one. She was carnivore for 5 years before she gave up her diet soda. And then she gave up her diet sodas and gained, like, what was it, 60 pounds? Somebody in the comments will probably be able to tell you better than I. I'm pretty sure it was like 30 or 60 pounds after 5 years of being carnivore and giving up the diet sodas. And then after a couple, 3 months or so, or 3 or 6 months, it started burning off again. But I didn't drink them, as I explained a little bit earlier. So I don't know about the diet sodas. Like I said, I would much rather you be eating this way and drinking the diet soda than not eating this way at all. But that's just definitely something we got to work on. Oh, Tim, how do you eat a LARGE? Large? Huh? I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe you can explain it to me in the comments or something. I'll try to look for you. Oh, sugar addiction. Hey, Shay Wolf in here. Oreo Pigeon. Oh, excuse me, Ohio Pigeon. I'm sorry. My buddy Mark's going to kill me. He's an Ohio Buckeye fan. He's from Ohio. I got so many buddies from Ohio. I used to give him a hard time. I used to say, man, there's like 24 astronauts that were from Ohio. What is it about Ohio that makes people want to leave Earth? Oh, but no, he's an awesome dude, man. Sugar addiction is a terrible affliction. Yes, absolutely. 100% is. Oh, there it is. I think he rephrased it there. How do you get the large pieces of fat down when eating a ribeye steak? Do you chew on it or do you swallow it whole? I feel like I throw it away, a lot of good fat, because I can't get it down. Help. So on a ribeye, if it's still on there, throw it on the grill and crisp it up, and then cut it up and chew it. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, that, to me, I didn't like the fat before going carnivore, but once a couple months in, dude, when I started eating these ribeye steaks with those big chunks of fat on it off the grill, That's the best part. My wife's another example. She would eat a steak with me every once in a while, but she would not eat the fat whatsoever. She would cut it off and give the fat to me. And since she's been carnivore about a month, and I throw those steaks on the grill, and she eats her fat now. So I mean, it's something about it. Once you put it on that grill and caramelize it a little bit on there, however you want to describe what that process is, man, you might start loving that. Might be the best thing. My sweet girl Ashlyn sending me hearts. She's so sweet. She loves her daddy. Joyce, how many kids have you blessed with? I got a son, 15 years old, named Lincoln, and I have a daughter who is 12 years old, Ashlyn. So 2 kids and one. My beautiful wife, Beth, she is going to be coming on here soon. I've been trying to see if she wanted to come meet everybody and say hey. So hopefully we'll get her on pretty soon, and you guys can meet her and ask her what took a year to get her started on this way of eating and give her a hard time. No, just encourage her, give her some help, because she's got to deal with me all the time. Today is 1 year and 4 months, no coffee or caffeine. 485 days, no coffee or caffeine. Nice. Congratulations. It's been a game changer. That's awesome, Carrie. Man, that's probably what I'm going to do. I may end up just doing a challenge and challenging myself with the coffee, because, like I said, I gave it up, but I added it back in. So maybe I thought I needed it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just give it up for see how long I can go and cut it out completely. A lot of the carnivore docs talk about that. They talk about the last 5%, man. Giving up the coffee, giving up everything but the salt, even, garlic. I don't know how I would ever give up the garlic completely, because when I want it. But I mean, anything's possible. I've even proven that to myself. Things that I didn't think were possible, I've been able to accomplish. So, yeah, man, that live percent. Yeah, that right there. Zechariah 4:6. It's not by power or might, but by my spirit, says the Lord. Absolutely. That's how I kind of have to describe what I'm doing, is because, like, while I almost feel guilty taking the credit for a lot of the stuff that I do, because yes, it was awesome, and I did display a lot of discipline and a lot of courage. But before I started this journey, I prayed that God would do something in me that was so big that I can't even hardly take the credit for it. And losing 243 pounds in a year is something only God could do for me, So yeah, I love sharing my journey. I love being able to help people, maybe being able to reach somebody with this message, being able to encourage people, being able to, speak into people's lives. And that's a huge thing for me. And I take that responsibility seriously. But at the same time, my faith is in somebody who gives me strength. So absolutely. What we got here? I got to pay attention. I do want to give a shout out to Marty Mack. Marty Mack was like the first person to get into the subscription to my channel, which is live. If you hit the join tab, you can join as a member now. We got super stickers and all the monetization stuff's up and going. I mentioned it the other night. Marty was the first one to join the subscription, and I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, that you would invest in me and in the mission, and also giving back, man, because that's the first thing we done. I did want to recognize you for that. If you hit the join thing, you can pick a plan and jump in there if you would like to do that. If not, there's ways to donate, and I appreciate everybody's opportunity to do that as well. Would love to meet your precious wife, Beth. It was so nice to meet Carnivore Kip's lovely wife. Yeah, absolutely. I actually I gave Kip a hard time, because the night he did that, I was like, I had been asking my wife to do it, and she's like, I'm a behind the scenes YouTuber, behind the scenes person. So she's not as aggressive and obnoxious, I guess, as I am about getting out with people and getting in front of people. So, she's going to come on though. I'm sure she'll at least say hey or something. She might come over here and punch me in the throat if I ain't careful today. Ron says if I drink a diet soda or if I drink a soda, it doesn't spike my glucose. Really? But well, it's not going to spike your glucose more than likely because your glucose is not. It doesn't have real sugar in it because so it's not going to make your blood sugar go up. The problem is that it makes your brain can't tell the difference. So your sugar's not going to go up. Your insulin's going to get put out, and it's going to make your sugar bottom out because it doesn't have sugar in it. It's not the glucose that's the issue; it's the insulin that's the issue. Uh, Oh, yeah, you want to meet Beth? I told her she didn't have to come on tonight. We're gonna meet Beth. She's gonna come on. I will actually do a show with her, and bring her on whenever she gives me the go ahead on that. So I was gonna bring her on tonight, and then she wasn't ready. It's been raining for 2 days here, so she was over there taking a nap, laid over on the couch. So I was like, well, I won't say nothing tonight. I'll just tell him you are gonna come. I do. Also, I do want to mention Memorial Day. I hope you guys are having a great Memorial Day. I hope tomorrow everybody has fun. If you're off, if you have to work, I still hope you have a great day. But I want to also mention those who are we celebrate because of this day. There are so many families out there. There are so many husbands, wives, children who have people in their family who gave their life for this country, and they give it here in America, and we salute those people that gave their life because that's what gives us the right to be able to get on YouTube and talk and live in our homes free and experience the freedoms that we still have. And even in 2023, with society the way it is, and however you feel about that, it doesn't matter what side the aisle you're on or what it is, their freedoms are the ones that gives us those opportunities and the rights to be able to do that. So I did want to say thank you to all those families who were going on and trying to find ways through without. My brother was in the military, retired a couple of years back, and there were many times whenever he was deployed where he got injured a couple times, and so it's definitely my heart because you never know what those guys are doing. You never know what they're getting into, and you never know whenever it could be their time to go. So, I have a lot of respect for the military and those guys. Man, they're incredible, and so I just wanted to take a minute to recognize them and just tell you how thankful I am for your sacrifice, and and all that you're doing, and those families who I think deserve a big part in this day. I know it's Memorial Day and it's about those who have fallen, but when those soldiers fall, it's their families who have to push on despite losing a loved one, and they'll carry that with them the rest of their life. They'll never get over that. So, I definitely want to thank them and just say that we still pray for you guys, no matter who you are. I pray for you guys to gain strength and peace. Ark, regarding to fat, most in this community are saying eating fat will not make you fat, but there are a few saying if you have a lot of fat on your body already, to watch the fat intake. Yeah, eating fat doesn't make you fat. What makes you fat is storing fat when your insulin's too high. That's 100% what it is. So I know there's a lot of people that say I ate too much butter and it made me fat. Well, when you eat a lot of fat, when your insulin is up, your body stores it. Whenever your insulin is down and you eat a lot of fat, your body's burning fat for fuel, if that makes sense. And you're not putting carbs in. Eating fat is not the reason for being fat. Your insulin is the one that dictates whether your body can access fat or not. How much fat you eat doesn't matter. The whole time that I have eaten this way, I have added butter to everything. I have increased my fat as much as I could stand it without going to the restroom all the time. The fat, if your body's burning fuel for fat, the more fat you eat, the more fat you're going to burn, and you're going to excrete it out. So If you eat too much fat, you're going to get rid of it. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that say a lot of stuff, man. I'm just telling you what worked for me was eating is I don't even know the ratio because I didn't even do an algorithm or an equation on it. I never figured it out. I just added fat until I saw myself have to go to the restroom a lot, and then backed up just a little bit and ate it off, and the fat shredded off. I mean, so that's all I can testify to. But insulin is the dictator on whether you're storing fat or burning fat. You keep the insulin down, your body's going to access fat. So, let's see. One is highly known. Yeah, I don't know who we're talking about, but yeah, I mean, I've seen people who are famous say things that aren't technically right. I mean, I'm just telling you what Bart K said. Bart K was talking with me about that, Anthony Chafee said the same thing in our interview about fat and protein. So, I don't know. I know what worked for me. Oh, happy to be a member. Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to keep telling it. Lady Fritz Rate. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you too. You cannot store fat without insulin. It is the storage hormone carb triggers insulin. Yeah. Okay. When your blood sugar's up and your fat, when your fat's being stored because the insulin, right? Absolutely. It locks that body off. I agree. Any tips on how to get the insulin down faster? I don't, honestly. Don't put carbs in. Don't put seed oils in. Don't do anything that spikes your sugar and causes that insulin release. That's the number one. If you're not eating that, don't try to eat all your protein in one. Don't try OMAD. Space your meals out to where, do 2 meals a day if you're doing 1 meal a day so that you're not spiking your insulin levels multiple times a day. That's one way to do it. Other than that, like, honestly, I just don't have a whole lot other than that. Make sure you're getting good rest. Okay, keep the carbs low and don't undereat. Yeah, undereats. And that's why that too is why I kind of say don't try to, if most people, even if you love 1 meal a day, you can't eat as much in 1 meal as you would eat in 2 separate meals, like intermittent fasting or something. Like I eat around 10 and around 2. But I could not eat the same amount from both of those meals in 1 meal and last me all the time. So good stuff, man. Anyway, I'm not going to hang out on here all night. If y'all have any more questions or anything, just let me know, and I'm about to wrap it up. I want to jump on and test this stuff out to make sure that everything was running good and how it was supposed to be, because I keep getting these people telling me that the chat, their questions weren't coming through, or even the notifications. If you guys will, in the comment, not in the chat, the live chat, but when the live chat's over, if you'll go into the comment section and just say, hey, test the comment and send that through so that I can, see if it's lining up with who all was here, that would be phenomenal as well on the way out. But absolutely. That I don't want to, like I said, I'm trying to investigate down what the Antlers was telling me about the notifications, or better yet, when you go into the comments section, just let me know that you saw a notification for the live. That would be the best thing to do, because if all these people say they got the notification for the live, but or they didn't get the notification for the live, everybody should that subscribe to the channel right now. So. And I know, obviously, anybody who, like Marty Mack, joins the membership team or the tribe or whatever, you should be getting notified as well. So I'm just trying to make sure everything's working properly. So Um, do you have an SNS grill? I don't have an SNS. You mean like I don't know what you mean by that. Is that is that a brand of grill? I have like I have a Weber grill, like a charcoal grill, and I have a like a gas grill. That's the only kind I had. If that's what you're referring to. And I don't know what SNS what we're talking about here. I was trying to wait for the comment. Oh, but no, I don't have. If that's a particular kind or whatever to use, no, all mine are older grills, old charcoal grills. I like it. Okay, Midnight Rider got the notification. Tim got it. Good deal. Yes, absolutely. All right, Archangel, you got a 15-year-old. I have a 15-year-old boy as well. Does yours do carnivore? I'm trying to get mine on board. No, he's actually been eating better and doing some walking, but he's not on with the whole carnivore thing. My daughter's been trying to get on it and get off the sugar. Um, my goal is to get all of them eating it, but my daughter's done it for weeks at a time. She does a whole mostly like around the keto, but I think it's going to help her out a lot. I really wish if I had it. That's the one thing that I wanted to ask the carnivore couple last night that I forgot. Are they going to feed their child carnivore keto? And because that's something that I really wish that I had done with my children. And had I known 20 years ago what I know now, I would have, and it probably would have offset a lot of their issues, gave them a lot better notifications, and all that stuff. So absolutely. Oh, hopefully you'll get on it though. Steph, how much do you spend on carnivore food in a month? So I think we figured it up, and it was like between $350 and $400 a month. And that's like for me, I haven't spent much more than that. I don't know how much my wife spends at the grocery store, honestly, because I don't go to the grocery store. I just go to the butcher shop and get the steaks and whatever meats we're going to eat. But I did add in the eggs and the butter and all that with what I eat. So it's usually, I think, about $200 for the butcher, and that lasts me about 2.5, almost 3 weeks, somewhere right in there. So I figured right at 300, and then probably $50 for butter and eggs. So 300, 350, somewhere in there for just me. But I did figure it up to where it only costs me about between $16 and $17 a day to eat, and there's no way I could eat standard American diet for that. So, Joyce, how are you? I'm so glad to see you in here today. I'm glad you could make it to the show. I appreciate you being here. I am fantastic. I hope you are well also on this Memorial Day weekend and having fun, having a good time with some families. Oh, lady got the notification. Look, my friend Southern Carnivore, look at you. You made it back from the big family dinner. Awesome. I hope you had fun as well. I think my family was supposed to have a dinner, but I need to get with my wife and figure out when. I think it was tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow at some time, but I hadn't kept up with it and everything else. I got to work on Miss Southern Carnivore. I'm gonna get her on the show one day to talk to you guys as well, man. You'll have fun. She's got a great story and a great experience too, and some good things to share with you guys. Doc T, good to see you too. Glad you guys made it. Some of y'all talking within the thing, yeah, saying hi. See, some of y'all already on to it. Yeah, I talked to y'all. I assume some people don't know, but some people do, man. We have a good community, and that's one thing that I noticed when Ready Set Keto, James and Emily, when they were talking about the next day, they said, we're talking about the love they got when they come on the channel. And I'm like, absolutely, you're going to get some love from me because, it is a spectrum. And That's one of the things that I was going to mention too about that. And I was watching Karen, because Southern Ketovore, because she was on their show, and they got to talking about the I guess closed minded people, and like I look back to my time over Carnivore over the last year, and there were times whenever I got that way, and had to be hard. Like I guess looking back on the situation, it's because I was telling myself a lot of things that I would have probably told myself at the beginning, whatever I needed to tell myself to push forward and get on plan. And that was something that was hard to come over. But the love that everybody's sharing between everybody on this channel and everybody, these days, and what I come to realize is that we're all on a journey, and the difference between those ways of eating are so close. Like it's the same thing. And what at the end of the day, what it looked at was this: if my mom was going to start eating something, I begged my mom, would beg my mom to get on this way of eating if that's what it would take to heal her. And I'm like, that view is definitely not something that you need to hold on to. And so definitely, I think that's something we need to look at, because I've seen it a lot of times in the groups that I'm a part of, and it's easy to get like that. So I appreciate that, and that's one thing that I realized watching one of your videos there, Miss Ketovore. So thank you for that. She says, I finally got my laptop and camera, so we need to get something on the books. We will definitely do it. I will actually get with you sometime this week, probably after tomorrow. We'll get together and talk and figure something out. I appreciate that. Let's see here. All righty. I love the lives too. I'm so happy you guys showed up and support me like you do, man. It means a lot to me. 100% got to support each other and love each other. And so, like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys on here forever. I just want to jump on, test that stuff out, see what's going on with everybody, speak for a moment, tell you guys I love you, I appreciate you, because I don't get to do it solo a lot. I guess I could do it solo, but I've been enjoying bringing the other people on. If there's somebody you guys want to see jump on, obviously I told you about Miss Southern Ketovore. We're going to try to get her on, so you guys be thinking about your questions for her, stuff that you want to ask her and whatnot. And but if there's somebody else you guys want to see come on, bring on, put it in the comments, let me know, and I'll see if I can if I even find out how to get a hold of them, or some content that you guys want to see, certain videos. A couple of people have posted that kind of stuff that I'm working on. And I think we got some good stuff lined up that you guys are going to like anyway. But like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys forever. I appreciate you being here, every single one of you, showing your support and love. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to jump off here and go hang out with the family for a little while on this Sunday evening. You do the same. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Remember what it's about. Support those families. They need it. Continuing going forward. They have lost loved ones, and we thank them so much for what they do. And I love you guys. I appreciate you. Everybody stay strong and keep pushing forward. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.